So actually, I'm going to read now. I'm actually not going to read that much. I had this whole like set figured out, and it was just when I was here last time in March, I read from my book that I was working on called Recovery: 28 Days to Inspire Your Soul, and it just kind of hit me going through the process of writing that book that I am not a traditionalist, and so I didn't want to mimic something that I myself don't agree on. So I'm reworking my book and retitling it Phoenix, and I want to focus more on things that help me get through my recovery. But what I want to focus on today is obviously it's a Pride show, and I was the first Pride president of the Acadiana Pride Festival back in Lafayette. I'm a unity guy. When I'm doing any kind of leadership role, I want everyone to come together and focus on things that keep us together. Sometime, I think maybe in the third or fourth year of the festival, they had a different leader, and it came to the point to where they were going to actually splinter it and make a separate dance for lesbians and a separate dance for gay guys. So that really bothered me. So my focus tonight is to kind of call, where we are out and say we have a lot of work to do to go forward and kind of get some things that are a little bit ridiculous. So the first piece I'm reading to you is called the LGBTQIA plus truth. Let's not forget the hate from 1969. Fear grew from Stonewall being raided. Run and tell Harvey Milk we'll be fine. We won't let our souls be degraded. In the 70s, we won many important fights. In the 80s, AIDS made our world dark. So many of us died in the disco lights. Hope from Union shone from Denmark. Pedro Zamora brought us to light to see we could reach levels undetectable. Matthew Shepard and Brandon Tina agree our lives, our history is respectable. Now, we can all tell, we can all ask, does it really matter who we live? Doma is no longer a part of our mass. There's no hateful God judging us up from above. Let's not take marriage for granted. Homophobia will forever be the maggot. I know from the red letters in the Bible, Jesus wouldn't call me a faggot. All right. And this last piece I'm reading, it's kind of flash fiction. It's more or less working on my issue working in the LGBTQIA community is what I perceive as the lack of understanding of the other letters and how they fit together. And it always makes me a little bit sad when I hear lesbians or I hear gay guys kind of focus the reason that they don't have a relationship with them is because you can't have sex with each other. It's pretty bizarre, and we kind of need to come away from that. But this is called So a Lesbian and a Gay Guy Were Hanging Out. You haven't heard this one before? I'll give you a cleaned up version of the story. So a lesbian and a gay guy were hanging out. It's a few days, year-ish later at the end of the world where the Earth rotated off its axis and bumped into the moon and then ended up in the same exact position, but sideways. It's just the two of them. They woke up on an island, which they feared to be old Zimbabwe. Two things were certain now in their lives. There was no more Africa and no more people. So the gay guy and the lesbian didn't mix. They were like an icy hot and an asshole. And even though it was always on the back of their minds, it had been a long time since either one of them had had sex. They each sometimes thought about carrying on the human gene, but most of the time they thought about having sex, not with each other, of course. The lesbian dreamed of a thick-thighed, heavy-breasted, slim-waisted, ass-jiggling vixen. Nothing her flesh-covered, strap-on penis wouldn't handle. The gay guy dreamed of a thick-armed, armor-chested, preferably Italian, friendly, bulging sailor. Everything goes but fisting. That he couldn't handle. Neither of them was anywhere close to each other's fantasy. However, they both agreed they were getting older, and they both agreed if they didn't have sex, the human race was gone forever. Forever. Okay, so you just want to put it inside? You want me to put it inside of you? Yeah, I guess. It's not hard, though. Play with it or something. Can you put it in your mouth? You want me to put that fetus-sized orangutan finger in my mouth? You think it's ugly? Look, I'm the womb here. Why don't you just warm me up, take a lick? You want me to lick that? It smells like an old cod fillet. I used to use perfumes. I'm not into fish of any kind, and I don't need a dick. And so the gay guy and the lesbian just couldn't bring themselves to mix any of their bodily fluids together. The lesbian and the gay guy were so grossed out by each other that for the next 5 years they lived on different sides of Zimbabwe Island. On the eve of the 6th year, they began bartering with each other. The gay guy would bring the lesbian fresh fish and island-made weapons, and the lesbian would bring the gay guy beef and island-made organic lotion. They agreed to share bananas. They lived this way until they died. They lived to see the end of the world happen again, and this time the earth tripped into the sun and burned up. That clumsy earth. That's it.